Hey guys, what is going on and welcome back to Mark's Tech. So why in the world did I get a 2020 iPad Pro 12.9 inch with the Magic Keyboard when I already pre-ordered the new one? Well, that's a very good question. See, I don't really know how to control my money. Yeah, that's not good. And the second reason is because I'm really gonna compare the two and let you guys know which ones you should pick up, because I pretty much stole this. I stole this iPad and the Magic Keyboard. FBI, if you're watching this, I didn't literally steal it. You got to hear me out before you get a warrant on me. So this video is more of an introduction to the video that I'm going to make when the new iPad arrives. So the iPad 2020, this is the 512 gigabyte model that I bought used on Amazon for $900. Well, $905 to be exact. And I also bought a used Apple Magic Keyboard case for $260. So in total, I got a 512 gigabyte iPad Pro 12.9 used and the Magic Keyboard used for about $1,150. That is a steal. If you were to buy the same exact setup with the new iPad Pro and the new Magic Keyboard, you're looking at over $1,700 with tax, so close to $1,800. So my question to you guys, and honestly to myself, is it worth the extra $650 for the same exact setup? Or if you just want the iPad, it's gonna cost you $495 more. You can buy this thing used anywhere, Amazon, eBay, and I got this used, like I said. Let me take it off the keyboard case. Well, let's not scratch it, Mark. This thing has no scratches on it. It is solid, like no scratches anywhere on the borders, nothing. Even the screen is completely brand new. Like if you didn't tell me this thing was used, I wouldn't have known. Same thing with the Magic Keyboard. I got this thing used. It's basically brand new. Hey, I saved myself a ton of money. So what does the new iPad have that this iPad doesn't have, and does it make sense for you? Well, the biggest difference that at least, a lot of people will notice on a day-to-day difference would be that XDR display. The new iPad does have a mini LED display, which isn't as good as OLED when it comes to black levels, but it is certainly better than LCD. But how much better is it? Well, that's what we're gonna find out when the new iPad arrives. But looking at this display, I'm not even gonna call this a bad display. This display looks better than the M1 MacBook Air that I use for my videos. If this thing had Final Cut Pro on it, I would sell my MacBook instantaneously. The display on this iPad is it's fantastic. I mean, there's you guys already know, come on, you know. The second difference, again, if this even matters to you, the new iPads have a base RAM of 8 gigabytes and it goes to 16 gigabytes of RAM if you choose the 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes of storage. Well, yeah, of course, if you do decide to go that route, it's gonna cost you, well, over $2,000, or no, probably close to $2,000, if not more than $2,000. And again, if you do get that keyboard, it's gonna be over $2,000. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. Is it worth spending over $2,000 on an iPad? I don't think so. At that point, just wait for the M2 or the M1X that's going to be on the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Just get that. I mean, that's gonna be way more powerful, and you can do a lot more on a computer, obviously. I mean, listen, I'm crazy with my money, but I'm not that crazy. I'm not spending $2,000 on an iPad, no sir. The 2020 iPad that I have in front of me, all models have 6 gigabytes of RAM, just as the new iPhone, the iPhone 12s. And honestly, I haven't really noticed any issues with it whatsoever. I've had this iPad for about 3 days now, 3-4 days. No issues, dude. This thing is just crazy fast. The funny thing is that the iPad Air actually has a faster processor. So, damn. But the iPad Air also has just 4 gigs of RAM. So, and this is bigger. This is obviously a bigger display. The iPad Air has a much smaller display. So, just letting you know. But before we continue, a quick word from this video sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. With thousands of classes available right at your fingertips, you'll certainly find classes that you like, whether you want to learn how to draw, edit videos, or even how to create cinematic videos with your iPhone or Samsung. I recently finished a class from Caleb Babcock and Niles Gray on creating cinematic videos with your phone, including all the apps you need. If you guys love taking video, I highly suggest this class. Members get access to thousands of classes, and if you're a busy person, don't worry, there are tons of classes that are under 60 minutes long, so you can squeeze them into your busy lifestyle. Since Skillshare sponsored today's video, the first 1,000 people to click the link below will save 30% off of Skillshare's annual premium membership. So start your learning adventure today. The third difference, which many are overhyping, and I get it, I overhyped it too when I first heard about it, but the new iPad Pro, has the Apple M1 chip. As I've told you guys, my MacBook Air also has an M1 chip, and it honestly destroyed my base level 16-inch MacBook Pro from last year. But the thing is that this is a full-blown computer. There are pro-level apps. You can do so much. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys. You can obviously do a lot more on a computer than you can on a tablet, because a tablet isn't running the same computer version. Now, WWDC this year might change that, but we don't know for sure. So putting an M1 chip into the iPad, at least, again, we don't know in the future, but at least right now, with its OS that it has right now, that's like putting I don't know, man. That's like putting a Bugatti engine in a Honda with bald tires. Like, you got all that power, but you know, you can't really utilize it fully, if that makes sense. I mean, you guys don't know how much power you have to throw at something for that M1 chip to even be touched. So I think for the average person, they might not need the M1 chip at all. I mean, listen, I consider myself more than above average when it comes to tech, and the A12Z that's in this computer, in this iPad, is more than enough for me. I mean, I don't even know what to do with it. Another difference between the two models is that the new iPad has a 12 megapixel front-facing camera, and this one right here has a 7 megapixel front-facing camera. Again, if you need that, get the new iPad. If you don't really need it, like me, get the older iPad. Another difference is that the new iPad has a USB-C Thunderbolt, so that can be a transfer rate of 40 gigabits a second. So if you just got done shooting a wedding, right? You have thousands of photos on your camera, and you sit in your Rolls Royce and your chauffeur takes you home, and you want to quickly transfer the photos from your camera to your iPad while sitting in the back seat of a $500,000 car. The new iPad will get that done much faster. The 2020 iPads are still USB-C, but they are 3.1 Gen 2 with transfer rate of 10 gigabits a second, again, versus 40 gigabits a second on the new iPad. If what I just said doesn't make sense, then hey, it's probably not for you, and you should probably get a used iPad 2020 and save yourself over $500. As for the battery life, well, like I said, I got this thing used, so the battery has been used. I'm not sure how many times. I should probably check that. But battery life, easily 2 days, 2.5 days tops. I mean, I only charged it once since I got it 4 days ago, so just letting you guys know. But if you do pick up the 5G model of the new iPads, because this generation doesn't have any 5G, if you pick up 5G on the new iPads, you can expect your battery to nosedive right into the ground, just like that. So as I've said, this is just the intro video, and this is basically it. The video is over. If you know, that's it, you can leave. But I'm going to keep talking a little bit. I just want to give you guys my experience with the iPad, because this is my first 12.9-inch iPad that I had with the Magic Keyboard. And honestly, if Final Cut Pro was on the iPad, I would never use my MacBook at all. It does everything I need to surprisingly well. I was a little bit worried about going to iPad strictly for these 4 days that I've had it. Honestly, I prefer it. It's just such a nice, compact little, well, not really compact, it's actually heavier than the MacBook Air. But it's weird because it is compact if you think about it, because here you have a full-blown computer tablet, and then you just take it off and you got a tablet. So in that aspect, it is more portable than the MacBook Air in a way, if you think about it. Probably not. I don't know what I'm talking about. And I totally love how this thing has charge pass-through. So you plug in your USB-C right here, and you can charge your iPad without taking it up on this side, you know, the actual charge port. That's fantastic. That's amazing. Is the keyboard worth the money? New? Probably not. I wouldn't have bought it. Get it used. Do not be afraid of buying used, especially on Amazon. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you buy it and something's wrong, just send it back. There you go. So now my video is finally over. By the way, I started a TikTok account 4 days ago. I already have like 70,000 followers. Don't know how that happened. So if you guys want, follow me on there for like little background, behind-the-scenes footage of maybe stuff that doesn't end up on YouTube. And that's it. This was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.